Gang, I've set myself a little challenge today. Busy building a house, and we've been sent through a fixtures and fittings schedule. And it's all been sent through basically as an Excel document and supplied as a PDF. So let's just quickly have a look at what that looks like. So you can see here, this is kind of like you got the house or the project, and you got a room for the project, and then you got a whole bunch of items. Now, this is cool, but the problem with it is I can't make any changes. So I can't have any input here. It's really hard. The links don't, this link works here, but I can't change this. I can't really comment. And I also can't, use photos and stuff and kind of see what this whole thing looks like together. So I want to see if we can hack together something quickly in a couple of days and build a digital version of this. So let's jump in and see how we can do it. So first things first is I'm looking at how we can model this. So what I'm thinking is the organization, and this can be a builder, and then can have many projects, and can have, I might just change this to Rails style. So it has many projects, has many users, and the way we'll join these through organization projects and organization users table. And then we have users, obviously, we have projects, and then project can be a master project. So this is if you have like one, I guess it's a group of things, a group of projects, and then from there we can have sub projects. So in this instance, we have multiple dwellings. So you could have the main house, a secondary house, or a gym. And then we'll have spaces within those projects. So these are basically rooms. So a project can have a room. So in this instance, we're going to have a kitchen, and then you're going to have items. So we'll actually have each room will have an let's call it a project item, and that will belong to a room. So this has many project items, and then this belongs to room or space. I think space is a bit more generic because you could have an outdoor area, which isn't actually technically a room, or you had a pool, for instance. So that's the basic modeling. We can also have things like you're going to have a comment model. You'll have an asset, which will be an image or a file. What else do we have here? So these are just properties on an item. Yeah, so these are all called items. It's a fixture or a fitting or a finish. So you can have a finish, and it's all defined here. All right, so that's the basic modeling, I think. So the next step is let's get a Rails app cranking. Let's get started. So we're gonna spool up a new Rails app here. So we got Rails new. I'm calling it Construction Manager. We're using Postgres as the DB. We're skipping tests because we'll use RSpec in the future. We're using ESBuild for JavaScript, and we're using Tailwind for styling. So let's hit that and let it do its thing. All right, that's all done. So let's open up. So we're going to jump into CD Construction Manager. Then we're going to open that with VS Code. All right, let's open over here. Sweet. Okay, so we got our code here. Let's run this now. Let's run Rails S and see what we have. Just make sure everything's running. So if I jump back into Chrome, there we go. We're running Rails 7.1.2 on Ruby 3.2.2. Perfect. Okay, let's get cranking. It's a bit of a speed run. Let's see what we can do. So first things first, let's do Rails G. We need to also set up the database before we even get started. So we're gonna go Rails DB create. Let's just run that. Okay, excellent. That's already existed, but that's what we do there. Boom. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do here is let's add some models. So let's look at our Notion doc from memory. The first thing is the organization. So we're gonna go Rails G model organization. Sweet, hit that one. We want to have, let's just go off the top of my head, project. We want to have a user. We want a space. Now this is where I just haven't, so we've got organization, user, project. a space or a room. I'm going to run with a space, and I'm going to call it a project space. I think, yep, we'll call it a project space. So a project has many project spaces. And then inside of that, we're going to have an item. So this will be a project item. Now, the reason I'm hesitating there, just thinking about collision, would a project item be anything else? I don't think so. So let's run with that. So a project item. So we're going to run project item. Sweet. Then we're going to run comment and asset. Let's leave those off for now. Cool. So let's jump in here and see what we have. So we also need the join models. So let's do those. So we're going to have, this will be organizations project. So this is the convention for creating a join model. When we generate that table, it'll be organizations projects, and that's how we're going to join those two together. It allows an organization to have many projects, and it also allows us to do anything. If you have multi-organization working together on the same project, we can create two joins there. So let's just create that model. We also want to have organizations user, and that'll be the join there. Yep. Because a user can belong to many organizations. Awesome. Okay, we set that up. So let's go into our models. So that's inside of app, models, and then we'll start here at the organization level. So we're going to say has many users, and we also need to say has many organization users. And then here we're going to say through organizations users. So we have many users through that join, okay? So then the same thing again, we're going to say has many projects, and this going to has many, no, not tasks, projects. I've made a mistake here, but that's all right. Projects users. We just push that up, and then we go here through projects users. That's it. Thank you, Copilot. Sweet. So we've got our organizations users, we've got our projects, and that's pretty good there. All right, so let's move on to the next thing. So we're going to jump into a project. We're going to say belongs to organization. Organization, I just have to double check that. We're going to have to migrate that first. This might be a little bit wrong. I can check that in a second. I just want to set up this as well, organizations project. So this will say, this joins table belongs to organization, belongs to project. Perfect, thank you. Same thing here. Belongs to organization and belongs to user. Perfect. All right. Yes. This one, a project item belongs to a project. And it can also belong to a project space. And that's as well. So it belongs to a project and then a project space. So think project is the house, so 33 Black Road, and then the project space will be bedroom or bathroom or etc. A project item, cool. A project space, this belongs to a project and it has many project items, yeah? Okay, so project belongs to an organization, and this has many organizations projects, yes, and has many. I wonder if you need this table here. I'm going to leave that out there for a second. We're going to say has many project spaces, and this is dependent destroy, because if we delete this, we want that to go. And then this has many project items. We could go through, but I'm going to just, actually, we'll go through that. Project spaces. Okay, so a user belongs to an organization's users. I'm going to have to check all this because Copilot could be stitching me up. All right, so let's just go through now. So we've added all the model config here, but what we want to do now is in our migrations, we want to create all the actual schema here. So the first thing, is the name of the organization. And I think for now, that's all we need. This is, I'm speed running this, but eventually we're going to have heaps of different things here. That's cool. Project. So the project's going to have, and I'm going to change this to title. I like using title here. So we're going to use title for that. We're going to use title for the project. It's going to have an address as well. A project would have an address. But I also think here, let's go, it's going to have a, it's almost like a nickname. So the reason is people usually name their project like they'd have. So with the company that I work, they would have different names. Let's leave that off for now. We just have a title for now. We're gonna try and do this as fast as possible. User. What does a user have? A user has a t.string, and this will be their first name, t.string, last name. You know what? I'm going to go with title here, because if the user, no, that's right, user name. It's actually a client, because you have to think about a client. A client could be a company. So I think what we'll do, an organization, anyway, let's skip that for now. We're going to go t.string, we're going to have email. No, just email, and then t.string. Phone. That's a user. Now we don't need to do the reference through here because we're going to do it through a join, but this is going to do t dot belongs to a, do we need this here? No, it's nothing referencing on that table. Awesome. Okay, that should be fine. First name, last name, email. We'll probably need to create a login eventually where we have a password digest, but we're going to skip that now. This is real, just trying to just sprint this through. T dot belongs to a project, and then t dot string is the title of the project space. Don't need a description, so you can see in here we just have literally just a title, nothing else. So that's cool. Let's jump back in here. So project items. This I'm going to do belongs to project space, t.string title. So let's just work through here. So we've got keynotes. So this looks like a code. No, what is this? I don't know what that means. Does it have it on everything? No. The keynotes. So I'm not sure what this means here. So I'll have to find out what that is. So here we got a title. We need a quantity. So we need quantity. Supplier, so we go t.string, quantity. So this won't be a string, this will be an integer. And I'm going to default that to 1. Then we're going to have supplier as a string. I reckon we create a new model here. So let's create a new model. We're going to create a supplier model because I can see that. So we're going to go Rails G model, supplier. And we're going to be clever here. We're going to have, I think, this a supplier will have a title, just for now. And then we're going to say t.belongs to supplier. That's cool. We're going to have product description. So we're going to have description, text, description, product code is a string. Where are you? Code. We're going to have an image, which is interesting. It's just nothingness. So that'll have it'll have assets. So we'll create that later. A URL, let's go t.string URL and comments. So comments will be multiple. We won't just have one. So now just quickly, I'm trying to sprint through this as fast as possible, keep the scope real low so we can actually ship something. But just in my mind, if I was building this in the big scheme, the grand scheme here, I would probably make these fields customizable. Because if you're going to try and ship this product to someone, you know, you don't know what they want to include, so they might have custom fields, and these would be project item like attributes, and you'd probably see those per organization. That's probably what I would do if I was looking to make this the most flexible, but because I'm just trying to get something out, I'm just going to do this for the short term. You know, if the product works, that would be great, but otherwise do as little work as possible. So here we're going to say T-dot belongs to, so this is organization projects. We're going to say belongs to an organization and also belongs to a project. Right, so this is just going to create references here. This, if you imagine this table, it's going to have organization ID, project ID, done. So let's go here. We're going to now do the same thing. T-dot belongs to organization and also user. And a supplier we've done. So let's just flick through there. That looks pretty good. All right, let's run this. Let's go Rails DB migrate. Send that, love it. All right, now let's jump in here and go Rails C. I just want to see if I've connected these models properly. So let's go and let's create an organization. So I'm going to go organization dot create title can build. All right, we've got an organization. Now I'm going to go user.create, first name, Ken, last name, grief, and then I'm going to go email, ken@email.com, password, no password. We're going to go phone is, no. 4 333 111. Undefined local variable organizations users for users class. Okay, I think it's this. Boom. All right, reload. I also have to change this. A user can belong to has many organizations. All right, let's see if that works. Nope. Unknown key optional. Okay, sure. There we go. Created the user. Excellent. Let's check out DB. Go. Where are you? There. Boom. Boom. There's our user. There's our organization. We haven't linked up the user to the organization yet. So let's go organizations user.create. And we're going to say user is user.first, and we're going to say organization is organization.first. Sweet, there we go. Now we've got the join, you can see that there. All right, so let's create the next thing. So we're going to create a project. Okay, so one thing that I've forgotten to do from the project was actually add a flag. So let's create a new migration quickly. So with a project, I like the idea of a project group, whereas a project could be one place or site, and a project, you can have many projects in there. So if you had, for instance, a big block of land and you were building a main house, secondary dwelling, and a gym, for instance, you would have 3 projects that are sub-projects to the main project. So I'm going to go Rails G migration, add primary or master. Let's just see if I had a note there. Master, yep. So we're going to say master to projects. And then also what we need to do is have a parent project ID as well. So what we want to be able to do here, add column to projects, master, boolean, default false. So this is saying we're going to add the column there, and it's going to be defaulting to false when we create it, which is cool. That's fine. Now, the other piece that we need to do is we need to add a column to projects, and it's going to be called parent project ID. And this is a big, yep, as I expected, big int, just because these IDs can be big integers. So the project can be a master, or the project can have a parent project ID, which means it's a sub project. All right, so that's cool. So let's run that migration, Rails DB migrate. Now let's have a look here. If we go, okay, we haven't created a project yet, but you can see it's got master and project ID there. Cool. So let's go here, Rails C. So the first thing is we're going to go project.create, and this is going to be title 33 Halls Road, Jarrah. And this is going to go master. Now, you know what? That should be probably is master. Should probably is master, just because if we can keep the Boolean naming right. So I'm going to just change that. So let's just exit. Let's go. It's the cool thing about Rails DB rollback. It's going to roll back the last migration we just did. So let's jump back in here and we're going to go is master. Cool. Then we're going to Rails DB migrate, send that again. All right, let's jump back into here. Now we're going to go project.create title 33 Halls Road, Jarrah. We're going to say is master true, and that's that. What have we done wrong? Let's see. Project, what have I done? Belongs to org. Okay. So project has many organizations. Has many organizations. Projects, yes. Cool. Let's reload that. There we go. All right. Created it, is master true, and it has no parent project. Okay. You're having a cry. Let's close this. Refresh. There we go. So it's a master project. Awesome. Now what we want to do is we want to say it also has many, so has many sub projects. And let's see if this works. So if we reload this and then we go, if we say project equals project.first, project.subprojects. There we go. So it's selecting projects from projects where projects.parent project ID is equal to this project's ID. That's exactly what we want. So now we can create sub-projects. So let's go here, go project.create. We're going to go title, and this is going to be called main dwelling. And it's going to have a parent project as the project there. What are you saying here, champ? Okay, so we also have to say belongs to parent project. Sweet. So it's saying this project belongs to a parent, can belong to, and it's optional here. So let's just reload this. We need to just load the project. There we go. All right. So now if you have a look in the DB, we've got now two projects. The first one's going to be called the title, and that's a master project. The second one is the main dwelling, and that has its parent project set to there. All right. So now if we go project.subprojects, we can see now we have one. All right. So I'm going to create another one. I'm going to create a secondary dwelling. Excellent. And then I'm going to create a gym. Boom. All right. So now we've got a main project sitting there. We've got a main dwelling, a secondary dwelling, and a gym. Now if we just quickly do a sanity check here and go sub projects, boom, we've got 3. And we can do a quick count. 3. Excellent. So we've modeled the project. Let's move on. So from here, let's go project, and then we're going to go project.subprojects.first. So let's go, I'm going to call this main dwelling. And in Rails console, you can do equals underscore, which is the last item we grab. So let's reset that. Now you can see main dwelling. If we go dot title, main dwelling, perfect. So now what we want to do is we want to say project spaces. I actually want to reference project spaces as just spaces, I think, like that. Okay, so to add an alias, I've just gone to project, alias attribute. I've aliased spaces to project spaces. So now I can just do main dwelling dot spaces, and that will load the project spaces. So I'm going to do the same thing for items. So we can reference project.items instead of project.project items, just a nice little convenience thing. Sweet, so let's run main dwelling dot project items. Let's just check everything's connected. Excellent, that's all good. So it's fetching all project items, inner joining on project spaces, where project spaces.project ID is that. Sweet, so it's done the join through for us automatically. So now project items reference straight through to the spaces there. Excellent, that's looking really cool. All right, next piece, project space. Let's see what this looks like. Simple. So we're gonna say, let's go main dwelling. So we're gonna create a new space. We're gonna go project space dot create title main bedroom. I mean, let's go in the living area. All right. And we are going to go to project, which is main dwelling. That's our project. What else do we need there? Did we put anything else on the model? Let's just check. Project space, not just a title and a project ID. Easy, bang. Sick one, there it is. So let's go project space, living area. All right, so now if we go main dwelling dot spaces, there we go, got living area. Awesome, too easy. You can see why I do love this Rails. So let's go. We're gonna go now inside of this, we're gonna create a project item. You know what, let's start here. Let's create a kitchen as well. Project space dot create title. Kitchen project is main dwelling. Sick. All right. We can even walk through the list. So we're gonna go kitchen mixer. How exciting. So we're gonna go project item dot create title is kitchen mixer. We're going to have quantity of one. You know what we need in here? Price as well. That would be handy. We don't have a supplier yet, so we do need to create that. Finish. Now, this is an interesting one. Finish, I guess you can do finish and product description, but I almost feel like those are two similar things. But let's just keep moving. So we did add, let's have a look what we added. We didn't actually add finish. So we've got title, quantity, supply ID, description, and product code. So we're gonna add in description, and that will be this one. Definitely need finish, I think. That's probably something that's quite important. Can I go here? Yep. That's the description. We need the product code. That's why it's doing that. Let's grab that. Keep writing project product code equals that. And then the URL is this. So allow, sweet, that doesn't even work because there's a split on across the line. So it's sweet. That didn't actually even link to the product, so that's not great. URL is that. And we will need, this is gonna fail. Did it work? No? Okay, supply ID is nil. Okay, we probably made that optional. So if we go into here, okay, we haven't even put it in there, so that's fine. We haven't validated any columns here. So I'm gonna also add here a project item belongs to a supplier, but I am gonna make it optional. in case we don't have a supplier. So what we could do there is we could have a supplier name or a supplier ID. Just so that it makes it easy. So if we have one supplier that supplies multiple parts, we can just create that once and autocomplete. Otherwise, we just have supplier name. But for now, I'm going to create a new supplier, and we're going to call them Astra Walker. All right, bang that out there. Now we can actually grab that item, because project item dot first, and we're going to go item dot supplier is equal to supplier dot first, because we've only got one there. Or we can do find one. Then we can just, what are you saying, champion? Did you mean, oh, okay, we haven't reloaded, so it doesn't know yet. There we go, item dot save, boom. Oh, there's a rollback. What's the errors? Item dot errors. We can go dot full messages. Project must exist. Project space must exist. Of course. So if we go item dot, what does it look like right now? So we go item. How did that even save originally? It was created. Because I hadn't saved the file yet. Okay, that makes sense. So if I go item dot project. If we go item.project space is equal to, so this is going to sit in the kitchen. So that is project space is number 2. So this is still erroring. Project must exist because we've got both the project space. Okay, what is your problem, project space? Okay, so we need to delegate this. All right, so all I did here is I just went into project item. I'm delegating the project to the project space because we actually don't reference the project directly on the project item. So we just have the project space. So when we belong to a project through a project space. Now, when I just updated it, that's saved, and now we reference there. So now we have a project item. So we can create projects, we can create project spaces, project items. We've got organizations. We need to do that. We've got organization users. That's awesome. So let's create an organizations project.create is going to be project.first, organization dot first. Boom, there it is. That's just the join. Excellent. Now what else do we have? We got the user, got the supplier, project space, project items, organization user, organization projects, organizations. Awesome. So we've created every single model there, and it all seems to work right now. So if we go organization equals organization.first, organization.projects. All right, here we go. What have we done? So this is organization projects users. Let's see, I've probably stuffed this up as well. Organization.users, that works. Missing model projects user. Yes, I am missing the model projects user. So it's actually organizations project. Sweet, that's not a problem. Oh, we don't actually have that model. Projects users, yeah, that's fine. That is true. All right, so we've forgotten to make this projects user model. So let's do that. Rails G model projects user. Sweet. So what does this look like? Why do we even need that projects users? This is wrong. So organization has many users and an organization has many projects. That's wrong. So actually we don't need that. Let's get rid of that DB because we're not going to have projects users right now. You know what? I'm going to leave that. I am going to leave that because we are going to assign normal users. So these are clients to users. No, I'm going to get rid of it. We're going to get rid of it. Projects user for now, get away from me, adding complexity. So we have organizations users and we have organizations projects. That's what, so sometimes Copilot feels like it just stitches me up here. Projects. That's how we access it. Let's go Rails C now. Organization.projects. There we go. It's got one project. Love it. I want to add another model. Rails G model client. Now, we want that as a client or an organization client. I'm going to just call it a client. Okay. So client belongs to an organization. That's just, an organization is just going to have one there. So we're going to go here, create clients. This is going to go t.belongs to organization, t.string title. Sweet. Rails DB migrate. Sweet. So let's just refresh this. Okay, so let's create a new client. Client.create title, and this is going to be client Ken. I mean, we can call this Ken Grief. And title, and then the organization is going to be organization.first. We don't want, like, you could create clients and you assign them, but we don't really, like, if you had multiple organizations on here, you don't really want them to share clients. So even if they are duplicating the same person, like I work with some other builder, it doesn't really matter because it should really be their own record. We don't really want that to be shared. So we create a client. So you can only a client can only belong to one organization. We're making that distinction there, which is fine. And I'm just ticking in my head because real estate, this would be a problem, but let's not think about that for now. Sweet, so we've got clients, and now we want to have client projects. So let's go here. We're going to create a new model, Rails G model clients project. All right, so this is a join model between the client and the project. So the client can have many projects. Could be come back and work with you many times. Client and a t dot belongs to project. Yes. And then we're going to have client's project. Same thing here. Belongs to client, belongs to project. Sweet. And then a client has many clients projects and has many projects through clients projects. Excellent. And then an organization has many clients projects and has many clients. Cool. Let's go. So what have we done? We've created a client. Let's create a client project.create. Client is client.first. Project is project.first. What have we done? Clients projects does not exist. Have we run the migration? I think we have. Nope. There we go, client's project. All right, we can check that. So there's a client. It's got, we need to refresh the DB. Client's projects. And then we need to create organizations clients, which we don't have yet either. Nope, we don't need that because a client belongs to an organization. So that's all good. So if we go organization is equal to organization.first, organization.clients, excuse me. What are you saying here, champ? Clients projects dot organization ID. What have I done? Belongs to organization. Client belongs to organization. An organization has many clients. Sorry. That's what we want. Because a client references organization directly, so I can do this instead. So we go organization.first.clients. There we go. Select all from clients where client's organization ID is this one. There we go. I've got one client. Excellent. So that looks like all the model scaffolding's done right there. So the next piece is actually going to build out the controllers and the views so that you can actually manage this. So I've added a little bit more complexity than what you'd want. I'm just thinking like if you were to scale this out of it, it's better just to kind of set up this modeling properly.